The other rejection of President Bush came today when President Obama ordered federal officials not to rely on so-called signing statements that President Bush used to declare parts of bills he didn't like unconstitutional and therefore not to be obeyed. Mr. Bush broke all records in using those signing statements. Mr. Obama said those days are over. Much more on that later. Howard Fineman, who's here with Perry Bacon, to get to this hot question we haven't gotten to this half of the show. This whole issue of presidents when they sign bills, we all learn how a bill becomes law. Well, there's been this little wrinkle where the president presidency under President Bush could simply say, well, you know, I'm going to sign this baby, but I don't really believe it, and it's not really constitutional. I'm not really wanting anybody to enforce it. Barack Obama says, when I sign something, that means I want it to be law.
Well, that's another example of what Perry was talking about, where he can, Barack Obama is painting a big, bright line between his new administration and the things that he thinks and most voters think George Bush did wrong, and the arrogation of power, the collection of power in the presidency, some of it justified by 9/11, a lot of it not, is something that a lot of people were concerned about.
But this is another question, Perry. This whole question, does the president have the power to be sort of like out there signing bills and saying, you can ignore this because I don't think it's constitutional? Bush did that. This new president says he won't do that.
Yeah, Obama was very explicit today about releasing this order saying he won't do that. It's easier right now with the Democratic Congress. I'm not sure he's going to get a lot of bills he adamantly disagrees with in the first place.
Right.
But that said, this is rebuke number 10 of President Bush, and this is very directly targeted at President Bush, I think.
Why this inflection point? Why do you think Perry wants everything to be different? Every day. I'm different.
He ran on this. He said he was going to be, Obama started attacking President Bush during the inauguration. I mean, people were surprised during the actual, the first speech as president by how sharp he was while Bush was standing right near him. So
yeah, but is he like that woman that drove her car back over the guy she ran over a couple times? Remember that? Is that what this guy's doing? He's backing up the car for a couple times over the guy. Just kidding. Howard Fineman.